Welcome back to those of you on YouTube. This is episode 20.8, I want to say. I'm not even sure anymore. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I'm uploading 20.5 now, so this is 6, 7, and yeah, this is 20.8. So for those of you on Twitch, we haven't gone anywhere. We're going to continue on. I actually need to save the game because we just played the match. So, but this is 20.8 on the YouTube. Um, so we'll probably spend a bit of tomorrow uploading them as well. I'll probably get one going in the morning before I leave for golf. Maybe try to get an upload actually done in the morning and then set a second one to go while I'm out golfing. Um, so let's have a cheeky little save and continue on here. Oh, I appreciate everybody being here on Twitch, by the way. I know it's getting late in the UK as well. It's got to be late. It's like 2 a.m. over there now. So I'm glad I'm streaming on YouTube nowadays so I don't have to memorize episodes. That's fair. I do need to set it up so that I can multi-stream, so I can do like Kick and YouTube and Twitch all at the same time. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I know a streamer who does that, who does Kick and Twitch and YouTube every single time, same stream. And I'm like, I don't know how you even monitor 3 chats. You know what I mean? Um, but she's a successful like Twitch streamer, I would say, right? Like her YouTube has like maybe 20 people watching, 30 people watching, and then her Kick will get like 7 to 10, and then her Twitch will have like 3 to 500. And I'm like, okay, so there's not much you have to monitor on Kick, but then like or YouTube because people don't seem to comment as much on YouTube. But then like if you were if you had if you had the same viewership all the way around, you had like 300 people on each platform, that would make my head freaking spin. I don't know how I just couldn't do it. I couldn't even fathom it, quite frankly. Um, but listen, streaming on YouTube is great because you can push 12K as well. That's what I like about streaming on YouTube. When I used to commentate F1 races for Apex Online Racing, and I'll tell you what, that was uh, it was great to stream to YouTube because you could totally I could push 12.5K to YouTube no problem, and it looked great. You know what I mean? So I could actually set it to 1080p too. I didn't have to downscale it to 900. I could set 1080 and just go. But I don't know. Twitch doesn't even allow you to do anything more than I think like 6.5K. So I have a pet peeve. It's a small tiny bone, like a small tiny bone to pick, small tiny pet peeve, with streams that are set to 1080p res and they can only push 6K because it's Twitch. And it's like it just doesn't look as nice as if you downscaled it and kept the bit rate the same, you know. Like 6K is more meant for just 720, 900 it's okay. That's like the limit. It's not meant for true 1080p. You need to have better bit rate for true 1080p. So I have yet to convince Parks. Parks streams at like 1080 and he pushes like 4.5K, which I'm like, that's not bad, but you're streaming Counter-Strike, mate, and it's like the moment somebody tries the 180 or flick or anything like that, you get that pixelation in the middle. And it's just like, if you just downscaled it, it would look a lot better. The only problem is downscaling is way more resources on OBS or from OBS. But anyway, that's the tech nerd talk done. So I realize that's a very technical, nerdy bone to pick if I had one, right? So let me get rid of the bot that's in chat. And then we can continue on. So 2 days to the next fixture, and then another 3 days till Tarleton Corinthians. Just won the Champions League with my Burton team. Let's go. Burton Albion? Is that the Burton I'm thinking of? I think is it Burton Albion? Isn't it like a yellow and yes sir? Yeah, let's go. Let's go, Tree Hugger. When did you where are you guys now? Are you League One or are you Championship? Burton Albion. Burton Albion. League One. Nice. Nice. IRL? Yeah, League One IRL. Are you guys safe? Oh boy. Okay. By a goal. By a goal, you're in the drop zone currently. You still got a little. You still got what? 4 to play? I fancy it. What's your running? Uh, Oxford, Stevenage, Cheltenham, Reading, and Fleetwood Town. Oxford. Oh, Oxford's 4th. Fleetwood Town 23rd. That's a big game. And did I also say Cheltenham Town? Yeah. Wow. Cheltenham Town and Fleetwood Town in your run-in. Holy moly, those are massive games. So, good luck, man. Our under 18s won the under 18 cup. Very nice. The CLG under 18 cup. They were 10-2 victors over Granite. They beat Prestatyn under 19s. Or, yeah, I think it's Prestatyn. Or Prestatyn. 3-0. And then they beat Rose 4-2. So the under 18s doing work as well. And the under 18s are actually going to be in one of the leagues this year. This is the what league is this? Shit. The National Under 18 League in the West. Right? Yep. We're going to be in that league this year. We got invited, so happy for that. Sila does well. Nice. He's like one of our backups. So Barhill, Brooks reports on training, weekly staff meeting. These tend to be pretty useless. I just go with the recommendations in all honesty. They went Ben Bailey on a professional contract, Jack Evans on a professional. Definitely Evans. We have even used Evans before, right? And then Luke Dodd, who I think had one substitute appearance or one appearance last season for us. I wouldn't mind doing so. And then we're not going to change that. And Tandy to the under 21s and Ebenezer Aqua to the under 21s. I don't want to do it because if we get an injury, these guys come in. Like that's, but we could also promote if we get an injury. So well, let's just do it. And then I think that's fine. Harrison's coming along well, and I have a good backing. So nothing surprising there. I think I have a B from the board right now, or B minus from the board. So we have 2 days until the next fixture. So this will be 20.7. This will be 20.8. And then we actually have a week off in between fixtures, I think. After Bury Amateurs reserves, I think there's a break. So, and then we have that cup competition, and then we are straight into the season. So, I didn't want to name the preseason matches like you know, 21, episode 21, episode 22, all that stuff because it's not an official match. So, my beloved Union are now bottom of the MLS. Actually, they're like second or third bottom overall in the league. They're third bottom because they played one less. So, having an absolute dog shit season. We actually won last night in Nashville, 2-1. So, scouting on Reed is finished. Sarkuski, or Zaruski, I should say. Ryan looks good. Uh, let's see here. Robert Brownlee, 19-year-old midfielder who can play midfielder, defensive midfielder, and attacking midfielder, and he earns 325 pounds a week. But the transfer value would be 30,000 to 300,000. There's no way we can afford that. So we're just going to acknowledge most of these and keep it moving. Do you think MLS should be open? No, I don't think it works in America because the football in Europe is very heritage based. It's very history based. It's very proud. It's it's amazing for what it is and what it's become, except for the Saudis taking over. But for the most part, right, it's amazing for what it has become. MLS is very ownership in MLS and just American sports in general are very investment based. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to own the franchise unless it makes money. If you take a look, the actually in the MLB, in baseball, the Oakland Athletics are actually about to leave Oakland because an owner bought them, wants to make money. They're not selling tickets in Oakland, and he's going to move the team to Vegas where he feels the demand is higher and he'll sell tickets and the franchise will become worth more than what he bought for it. So, okay, but Oakland has had a short stick for a while. Oakland has tried everything to stay in Oakland. The Athletics have tried everything to stay in Oakland, and the city's denied them 4 or 5 permits to build a new stadium. So they've tried. I remember watching a vid about it. It was very interesting. USL USL has promotion and relegation. You have the USL 1 and USL 2, or I think it's called USL Championship and USL League 1 now, or something like that. So the USL actually has promotion and relegation, but I think major American sports, it's $2 based. It's way more about money and making money, American sports. And I feel like relegation would never work because USL allowed in the Cup. They were allowed in the US Open Cup. They're not allowed in the MLS Cup. One of the main reasons I don't watch American takes on sport, just a reflection of American science based so much on greed that's obnoxious. There is a very stark truth to that, Michael Drake. I'm American, so I enjoy baseball. You know what I mean? I don't really enjoy like American football or anything, but I enjoy baseball. It's another sport I watch, and it's very much like that, which means small cities get screwed over. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, USL is allowed in domestic cups. Like the US, we have the US Open Cup, which has been around since 1910. And yes, they MLS and the USL do compete in that cup together. Um, if I remember, Oakland doesn't want to be the one to pay the bill, so the NBA Warriors moved to a nearby city to San Francisco, Oakland Raiders to Vegas, and now Oakland Athletics. The interesting thing about that Akoni Kun is they actually had an owner come in and offer them $2 billion uh, to fund the first $2 billion of the project, and the city still said no because they didn't want to sell them the land. Uh, owning a football club in Europe is not a clever investment. Exactly, you're exactly right. And it needs to me it needs to be a mix of both, right? The club needs to be sustainable. It needs to be able to make money, but you need to be able to own the club for something more than just an investment. You need to care about the club. You need to be about the club's history. You need to be about the ecosystem of the sport. You know what I mean? Like that's why a lot of these American owners that come in, I'm not like hugely fond of because it's like Bowley, for example, just comes in and just buys a bunch of shit. Just buys Chelsea and then just like, oh yeah, well I'll spend money on, it's like you're not a football guy. You know what I mean? You don't. This isn't a club that you're gonna just hold on to and sell. Oh my God, why did you even tell me he's injured for a day? It's a day. So he should have bought Brighton. Ah, why? So you could spend £1 billion and still be shit? Because that's what he did at Chelsea. He spent £1 billion and they're still shit. So, um, you know, I don't know. American sports have their own unique. I don't think I could ever like Abramovich would have given him three. Yeah, that's true. That's true. He would have given him 3 Champions Leagues and about 30 managers in the process. But hey, would have won the Champions League. So, but he's taken every step member out to our club. Nice. American sports, I always look at American sports as different. Like I don't think you could like I think you can't directly compare the two. You know what I mean? Just they operate in such different ways. Like people joke about MLS because it's like, how can the best team in the league not win the championship, and you have to play this playoff system? And I'm like, I mean, playoffs are the biggest. Playoffs are the bit like that's an American thing. It's in the NHL, NBA, NFL. Like, so of course it's going to have to come to MLS. That's fine. That doesn't make it any worse a football league. You know what I mean? But um, you know, how do I pick an MLS club to support? Don't tell me because I'll just have you pick the one that I support. So don't do that. You should genuinely. I don't know. I don't know how you fall in love with a club like New England. No, 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 no. New England have. I think they've won MLS Cup before, actually. Um, this tells me it expires in 2025. So why am I even worried about it now? Miami for Messi? Fuck no. You don't want to be plastic. I can't tell you how many Miami fans are just because there's Messi. Like I'm like, fuck off. If you want the clubs with the longest history, Portland, San Jose, I would say Seattle, Vancouver, all those clubs existed in the old NASL, North American Soccer League. And when the NASL folded, those clubs survived and actually survived long enough that when the MLS was born, they came into MLS. So you have history with those clubs. Sir Roger Moore played for, I want to say, did he play for Portland or did he play for Seattle? Not Roger Moore. Fucking Roger Moore. Yeah, no, the Bond guy. Sir Bobby Moore. The fucking Roger Moore played for fucking right. Basically the Pacific clubs. Yes, he played for Seattle in 1978. Um, but those clubs, yeah, those clubs have been around. That's why the Cascadia Cup is like taken seriously by that fan base because the Cascadia Cup is a cup that's competed between the Vancouver Whitecaps, the Seattle Sounders, and the Portland Timbers. Those three always compete for the Cascadia Cup between them every year. And it's taken seriously because those are also some of the oldest players. I saw Bobby Moore also played for Carolina team. He did. Uh, I couldn't remember the name of it. Um, but in a different league, yeah. What happened to Chivas? They used to be Chivas became LAFC. So Chivas USA basically couldn't. Let's have a save right before the fixture. Chivas USA basically couldn't keep fans in. I think the last season they went. They averaged like 2,200 fans. They were getting smoked by the Galaxy's attendance. So Vincent Nguyen, who if you remember owns I think Cardiff City. Um, Will Ferrell and a few other investors came in and bought LAFC, and they rebranded it as LAFC and relaunched it 2 years later. Frack is back. I didn't pick him in the fucking starting lineup like an idiot. Let me load the game, please. Uh, Frack is back. The club also bought a Stern John, if I remember correctly. What's that? Um, but yeah, Chivas is LAFC now, and I fucking hate LAFC with an unbelievable passion. I hate LAFC. Why does it keep saying that Oh, he's returning to full training tomorrow. Well, fuck it. We'll just leave him out one more game. It's not going to harm it. He's going to be back for this friendly. And then we still got all the rest of the friendlies, so he'll get his time in. So I loaded the game. I loaded the game for no reason, and we're back. Stearns John made an appearance in the 2006 World Cup for Trinidad and Tobago. Interesting. Spaps is confused by passing it shorter. Brat is confused by taking more risks. I don't understand this screen or why it's even in FM. Like we haven't changed a single thing about how we play. Why are you happy one day, you're confused the other one? Fuck's sake, I don't get it. Anyway, let's play the walkout song. Walkout song. Let's tell them. Uh, uh, I guess we'll go with that. LA Galaxy forever. I don't like LAFC because we lost the final to them 2 seasons ago. Non-flash. I, I just yeah, no. All right, we're underway. No, I think the reason I don't like LAFC is because they first off, everyone talks about this LAFC experience, like how it's great, like oh they represent LA, and I'm like, the LA Galaxy have been around since '96. Like if anybody represents LA, the Galaxy represent LA. They've won 5 titles. They're an original MLS '96 team. Like to me, when I think of LA football, that is LA. The other thing is, like I don't like this idea that they have all this like this great huge fan base and blah 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 blah, and it's like where were you guys? Like like where were you guys for the last 20 years? Like how were you not? Sounds like Man U and City. Yeah, it's like how are you not like Galaxy fans? If you really loved the sport, you would have been Galaxy fans. You would have already, you know what I mean? Like I don't understand why all of a sudden LAFC is the big rage. The other reason I don't like them is because we lost the 2022 MLS Cup final to them, and in the most heartbreaking fucking way as well. Uh, but their fan base is pretty. Uh, they bend the rules, is what I don't like. Like you weren't allowed. You're not supposed to have not pyro, but flares. You're not allowed flares. I can vouch for something like that. You're not allowed flares in the stands, and they had flares in the stands in 2022, and they were never punished. And they had them last season, and MLS basically finally told them knock it off. And then when they went to the Cup final last year, they played in Columbus, and they scored. They were down 2-0, and they were away, obviously, right? Because the final was in Columbus. So they were on the upper level of Columbus's stadium. And when they scored to make it 2-1, a lot of the fans that were traveling there threw the beer down on the Columbus fans below in the lower terrace. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know if that to me that's not acceptable. You know what I mean? Like that it's just but I jumped ship while Kobe was at his peak. Kobe to me is probably one of the best players to play in the NBA. So I don't like the Lakers, but like I respect those teams, even the one that we lost to in the 2001 NBA Finals. So we'll never deny that. Yeah, yeah. So I'm not a big fan of LAFC for a lot of reasons, uh, but there's a few clubs in MLS I don't like. Mainly just DC, the Red Bulls, and LAFC. So I don't really like Atlanta, but I don't hate them. I fucking I just forgot. I loaded the game again, and I forgot to change the names of Frack and Brat. Like, I mean, being named after a drink is enough to make me sick. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Oh, cookies. I only watch NBA passively to watch how badly the Serbians are humbling the entire college grads in the NBA. Remember who was the guy that they asked him? They're like, "Does the booing bother you?" And he's like, "I played in Serbia." And then they show you like what it's like to play in Serbia, and I'm like, "Fuck you hell!" An American crowd at the NBA will never be like that. You know what I mean? Like, so, although give us $1 billion, and we'll happily have us go by Brighton and Red Bull Albion. So, I don't like the fact that it's I don't like the fact that it's more than one club. You know what I mean? Like it's Red Bull Leipzig, it's Red Bull Salzburg, it's Red Bull New York. It's like it's the same with Citigroup. That should be a goal. Ah, sneak offside. Like City's the same way. They have NYCFC, they have Man City, they have another club in Belgium, I think, in the second division. Even France is getting them humbling on the humbling. It seems, even if it's mainly the immigrants who come from Africa. Franchises shouldn't be allowed. I agree. Oh, Sheamus, you had time to settle that and even hit that on the boot, man. I agree. I don't like the big franchising stuff. So I think the Olympics are going to be interesting on basketball because I think a lot of Americans and the American players think they're going to roll up to the Olympics and just dominate, and I'm like, yeah, the last time that happened, we didn't win. So I think there's a really good chance the Americans don't win in Paris this summer. That was too early a ball. So I actually can't wait for the Olympics. I'm looking forward to the Olympics. I'm going to be taking 2 weeks off to watch them, so it's going to be great. Uh, so maybe I'll stream a lot that 2 weeks too. Have because I have two laptops. I could always put the Olympics on the one and have the stream going on the other. Oh, good cutback. Parks shoot. Oh, what a block. And the keeper came out for it. I don't even know if that was him that got it or the header. I guess the Americans don't want to talk about how they struggle in the Winter Olympics against a nation of 4 million people. Well, I think the main thing people forget is a lot of places in America where winter sports could be played. First off, there's way more moderate climates in the U.S. than there are winter climates. And then I think, secondly, they conveniently leave out when talking about their dominance. Secondly, I would say I think the other thing is a lot of the areas that would have winter sports in America, Maine, Vermont, Minnesota, not Minnesota, Montana, those things, they're genuinely never densely populated either. So, and because of that, they're less popular in the States and they're way more expensive to do in the States. Like ski jumping or anything like that is an extremely expensive hobby in the U.S. So Norway, the goat of winter sports. They are the goat of that is true. They are the goat of winter sports. Griffin. Odin blessed him with alpine skills. I think the thing I hate too, and I cannot stand it about American media when it comes to the Olympics, and it's really bad in the summer Olympics. Is all they talk about is the medal table. Here's the medal table. Which countries won the most? Bitch, the medal table don't matter. It's not an official thing. It's superfluous. It's fairy dust. Like it doesn't matter which. Like it's about the individual sports, the individual competitors, the how they play out. The storylines that come with them. Like oh, Seamus, come on, mate. Even then, they struggle against China all the time. Yeah, but you're right. But Americans are a very summer sport people. I feel like the media in the UK focuses on the individuals rather than the table. Although the media over here is net. Yeah, I wouldn't want your media over there. Your media over there is pretty. I think the other top countries do the same. You're probably right, Akune-kun, in all honesty. Because I have watched like the BBC before for the London Olympics, and a lot of that talk was about like they did mention medal tables and things like that, and it's like just be about the sport. I'd rather you be about the sport and the spirit of the Olympic Games than a fucking medal table. Like to me, the medal table isn't about the spirit of the Olympics at all. Who cares? You never hear a peep about the Olympics. Well, is that a penalty? How's it a pen? Come on, Brat. Come on, Brat. No, fuck off. I didn't think it was a pen to begin with. Medal table makes no sense when every match sends a different amount of Olympic. Exactly. Exactly. You're exactly right. That's 100% correct. Come on, boys. Fucking cook, will you? What are we doing? I mean, it is preseason, but this is Bury, man. So we're playing Bury Amateur Reserves, and in the league last year, we played Bury Amateur Under 21s and smoked them. Because they were like, I think Bury Amateur Under 21s finished 10th or 9th last season. They should be encouraged, motivated. Yep, they're good. Griffith's got it. Come on, boys. Cookie's having a good game. Saying Parks is having a bad game. I honestly did not think it was a pen. I thought Parks made a good challenge, clean challenge, won the ball. But I guess you could level the playing field with average medal finishes, but I don't think it's a proper fix. I don't think that should finish. I don't think it should. I don't think the medal table should exist. Put it that way. I think that's the problem. I think that in its essence is not really in line with what the Olympics is about or the Olympic spirit is about. It's good ball movement. Come on, Harrison, put a good ball in. I got blocked. So. On Sheamus. Put a good corner. Nope, Griffin's got it. Fucking hell. So. Go. I think USA Gymnastics is going to struggle too. That's a corner for Bury. I just think it's amazing to have to say this, but I think a lot of them are going to be too old for the Olympics. Because generally, I think we have like 2 people who are 21 or older on that side, and usually the best gymnasts are like 16 to 18 or 16 to 19. So gymnastics is big. That's the other one that's big on primetime. If you ever watch primetime media over here during the Olympics, it's always swimming and gymnastics during the summer. Track and field a little bit as well. You get like the 100-meter, men's 100-meter, women's 100-meter, and things like that. And then great move, Cookies. Oh my word, Cookies! That is unfucking believable. What a run! Look at this shit. And then he chips the keeper at the end. Fucking, that's amazing. They're also introducing esports in the Olympics. No, that's not true. That's not true. I've worked in esports. They're not competitive in a lot of fields. Like League of Legends, they're competitive in, but a lot of other esports, they're not very competitive in. You know, StarCraft, Counter-Strike, Rocket League. They're nowhere in those esports. Nowhere. Oh, Snicky. Oh. So they are in League. They're not in Counter-Strike. That's for sure. They announced it. Yeah, I know that, but like I'm saying they're they're not competitive. China isn't outside of League of Legends. China is not really and maybe Dota as well. By the way, China isn't really competitive. So, Rainbow Six they're not competitive. Counter Strike they're not competitive. Rocket League they're not competitive. Um, Fighting games they're not really too competitive in. Um, so it depends on what game they play. But realistically, outside of Dota 2 and League of Legends, they're not competitive. Watch them in Age of Empires. It's not really a tier 1 or a tier 2 esport for the match, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of commentary that happens during the parade thing at the start. You mean the opening ceremonies? Yeah, it's because they get a bunch. Yeah, I'm not either. What nations are? I don't watch. So in League, China and Korea. In Dota, China and uh, I would say a lot of Europeans. Like, oh, that's beautiful, Parks. Let's go, Parks. Parks has made up for it with his penalty. Let's go, Parks. Beautiful, beautiful work. And then Twinkle to Parks. That's a good cutback. And then Parks straight in the corner. Lovely stuff. I would say so. Um, Counter-Strike is mainly Europeans. Then the Danes are really competitive. Who else is really competitive right now? Ukrainians are actually really competitive in Counter-Strike. Russians as well. Let's go to the dressing room and say that's what we'll say. We're ahead on the scoreboard we deserve to be. In fighting games, America and Japan are probably the two big juggernauts. And then Rocket League, the French are pretty good. Canadians are pretty good. Americans are pretty good. Norway and AoE, but they always get cooked by China in that game. I didn't even think AoE had like a huge esports scene. Rainbow Six is mainly European. Rainbow Six, actually, the Brazilians are on fire in that game right now. I think they've won the last two majors, the Brazilians. The Brazilians aren't bad in Counter-Strike either, but so depends on the esport, really. Shima's the back post. Oh, let's go. Let's go 3-1 up, shall we? Let's go 3-1 up. Let's make it happen. So, come on now. Gonzalez was shoved by Snicky. What about the Brits? A long time ago, the Brits used to be really competitive in Counter-Strike, but it's been a while. Fighting games seems to be where fighting games in FIFA seem to be where a lot of them have the talent now. So, but and Football Manager. I'm shit at Football Manager. So, I thought he was about to head it into his own goal. So, because there's so damn many of them. Yeah. So. Griffins with the grab. Come on, boys. Let's get a third goal. Put the game really to rest. Can you imagine being one of the lower wealth nations and getting sponsored by your government with a PS5, Xbox plus TV? I couldn't, man. I know. I feel bad for a lot of the African nations because I know like Namibia and South Africa have a pretty good esports scene, and yet those governments do nothing for the infrastructure to help it thrive. In fact, quite the opposite. It's usually they're quite self-destructive. UK going to send like 700 Olympians, and 500 of them are going to be Football Manager players. Can you imagine? They're gonna send like 150, and they're all gonna play one online game where somebody's the manager of every team, including the Vanarama North and South. So they're gonna have to use Dan's database just to play FM. Ah. Nice cutback Spaps. But where you going with the ball? The line's not moving. We can't get the line back. There you go, Parks. Now the line's going to move back. Oh, had options. Another corner. We haven't done well on corners. I don't know a game more insufferable than FIFA. I haven't played a FIFA game since 12. I stopped enjoying FIFA. Like I played 12, it was okay. I played 11, I didn't like it. I played 10, I didn't like it. I played 06 and I loved 06. I played 04 and I didn't like it. Like it's just one of those things where it's like it's just so bad for so. I stopped at 17. I stopped at 12. So I look at it now and I'm like, it's so bad. But my favorite FIFA was probably 99. 99 and 98 were unbelievably good. But that's how old are they now? You know what I mean? So Snicky over the bar. So 99 was a lot of fun. So they had a World Cup campaign. You can take any country through the World Cup qualifying. You could take any club in like the top 5 or 6 leagues in Europe. They actually had MLS in 99 as well. It was great. It was great. MLS was in its infancy, of course, back then. But they had it. So FIFA 99 was a fun game, man. I didn't mind 06, but it was really odd. 06 was so 06 Road to the FIFA World Cup is the dumbest FIFA I ever played. I enjoyed it, but it was so dumb because I did the thing where you can like create a league in 06, and I created a league and put like it was an international league, right? And I had these things where it was like 16 teams, four groups, 16 teams a group. Everybody plays each other twice. So you had like 30 games in the group stage, right? It was like a super World Cup league. And Group C had San Marino at the top on like 16 wins and a draw. And I'm like, the fuck is this? Like, why? I could go back if I still have my Xbox. I could go back, load it up, and they would be there. It's so stupid. That's not like I'm like how? I'm like it makes no sense. So and then I had like I think it was like Germany was at the bottom on like 2 wins out of 18 games, and I was like this makes no sense. I was like, how has Germany lost to like Azerbaijan? Like. Career mode makes me laugh. They have the top 6 in the bottom half most of the time. That sounds wonderful. What are you talking about? He said, that sounds wonderful. But no, that sounds like some football manager fuckery. So, but no, I get your point, you know? It's very unrealistic. I struggled because, and this is going to sound really stupid, but I struggled a little bit because in FIFA 12, you could pick who you sign with as a youngster. So obviously I picked West Ham. And they were in the championship. Oh, let's go, Spaps. Put the game away. They were in the championship back then. So I was like, fuck, we're not even in the top flight. Like, I got to try to get us promoted and then try to play in the Premier League and survive in the Premier League. It's a nice pickup from Spaps. That's just very nice. All right. 3-1 over Bury Amateur Reserves, who I feel like are pretty terrible given the fact that their under 18s team is just as awful. If you guys weren't here for the end of last season, by the way, we had a team in last season that played. We had 20-game season, right? They played 20 and they lost all 20. And it was something like they scored 18 or 23 or something like that, and they conceded like 80. It was awful. They got absolutely smashed by everybody. I think we smashed them 7-0 and 6-0. I think Earlham Reserves smashed them like 6-0 both times. They were just absolutely dreadful. Imagine being in the bottom, the lowest division in England, and you go 0-20. Like, that's just brutal. That's just brutal. This Griffin's got that. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen teams be that bad in Football Manager. So. Spaps couldn't get to it. I need to make sure I get some water after this. I haven't had water at my desk in about an hour or so. Reminds me when I used to play in the Norwegian Cup and smash the first few teams who had nothing but grayed out players, 22 or something, nil or something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He might be off there. Seamus might be off there. Yep, flag's going up. He's off. Yeah, it was not. Hazel's been shown the yellow. We're still fine. We don't have anybody booked. We are 70 minutes into the game though. So let's. Why is he anxious? Let's bring Kerry Evans on. Let's do that for myself. Let's bring Makundi on. And let's bring, because we haven't brought Makundi on, we'll bring Warner on. 3 subs. Switch it up. Not that they're going to get a shit ton of playing time. Oh, that's a really good header. Oh my God, how have they blocked that? Those grayed out players can be dangerous. Yes, they can be. It also sucks when you have them as well. When you have the grayed out players, it's like you can't train them. You can't, you know what I mean? It kind of sucks. It really sucks. So. Come on, Makundi. Yeah, you go. You got Sheamus. You got Parks on the overlap. Sheamus has just got to drive at him. Or, sorry, it's Warner, not Parks now. There we go, Warner. Nice ball movement, Warner. Twinkle. Oh, off the bar. Are you kidding me? I haven't played much of the FIFA games, but my favorite commercial was for the FIFA 2014 World Cup game where the U.S. qualified, but they chose not to bring Donovan on. So he's at home playing the game, self-inserting himself, winning the World Cup for USA. That's a fantastic commercial. The commercial literally ends with him chanting, "I'm not going to Brazil." If I remember correctly, that's the World Cup that we lost to Belgium. And, like, Howard made, like, 15 saves or some shit at. I think we lost to Belgium in extra time. I think Howard made, like, a record number of saves. So, in his prime, he was a fucking unreal goalkeeper. Oh, wow. That almost deflected in. And then, of course, we went from that to not able to beat Trinidad in Trinidad. Like, what's the best U.S. finish in the World Cup? 4th, I think it is, or 3rd. Retroactively, I think it was 3rd. 1930, was it? The World Cup I remember the most was 2002, where the U.S. put up a heroic effort Yeah, we played. Oh, nice tip, Brat. Nice save, Brat. Yes, the 1930 inaugural World Cup is the best finish for the United States. There was no third place game, and we finished as a semifinalist. FIFA then went back after not like 50 or 54 and retroactively assigned standings, and we got assigned third. Yeah, and that's what happened. Um, so our best finish after that World Cup was the quarterfinals, I think, in 2002. 13 teams apparently, yeah. Yeah, our best finish after that was 2002 because we played Mexico in the round of 16, and that was a really heated game. And we beat Mexico 2-0, and then we had to play Germany in the quarterfinals, and we lost 1-0 to Germany in the quarterfinals. It was really close in the quarterfinal, like only losing 1-0. But that's what happened. Uh, that was a pretty good World Cup 22 team. I think it was Brian McBride, Donovan was on that side. Um, it was a really good team. The World Cup there. So give me 1 second here. Let's play the victory song, shall we? There we go. Can I just say, after the 2002 World Cup, that Eddie Pope will always be the better defender than Alexi the Grifter Lawless? I will allow you to say that, yes. The 2002 World Cup, I watched 94, right? The 2002 World, but like I was young, I was 6. So I would say the let's have a cheeky save. The 99 Women's World Cup is the first World Cup I actually like sat down and watched the whole thing. And then the 2002 World Cup was uh the next one I watched. So, was it 99 or 97 the Women's World Cup? I'm pretty sure it was 99. Yeah, it was 99. Bro lost to Iran while Pope has to be screwed by a handball from Torton Frings. Yeah. Was that the which one was that? Which game was that? Let me see here. Knockout. Round of 16. That was a quarterfinal game, wasn't it? Oh, the United States lost to Germany. Yeah, that was the quarterfinal game. Yeah. And then Korea beat Spain on penalties. So that was when Senegal made the quarter. Yeah, I remember that team. That was a good Senegalese team as well. That was a great World Cup overall. I do have to say. Um, so that is the end of the recording for YouTube. This was 20.7. We will have 20.8 next if you're on YouTube watching the VOD. That is going to be our really penultimate friendly before the Senior Cup. We got 5 more friendlies and then the start of the season. So for those on YouTube, thank you for watching episode 20.7. We'll see you in 20.8. Until then, take care.